Hi and welcome to this survey app for Zendesk demo video where we're going to be talking all things survey. If you're not familiar with how to install an app into Zendesk from the marketplace, you can do so by going to zendesk.com/apps, doing a search for SweetHawk, and then you'll be able to find our survey app like so. Okay, so let's jump into Zendesk and have a look at what the survey app does in action. Now, what we're looking at right now is the Zendesk agent interface, where agents go in and communicate with the requesters or customers or whoever the people needing help are. And so we're going to respond to this ticket and solve it at the same time. And when we solve it, that's the point that a survey will be sent. Now, you don't have to send it out when the ticket is marked as solved. The way that the survey app works is it taps into Zendesk triggers being and automations, and that is essentially the engine of Zendesk, allowing you to basically send out a survey at any point during the ticket's life cycle, or relative to, for example, when the ticket is marked as solved, maybe you want to send it an hour after the ticket is marked as solved, or 24 hours. So ultimately, you can send out the survey whenever you want, and we're going to send it out when we mark this ticket as solved, which you'll see in a sec. Okay, so that's been updated. Now, from the end user's perspective, what they're going to see is an email that's come into their inbox, as you can see, and they're going to get an update as per what you would usually get from an update coming out of Zendesk, with one difference though, that the survey app has injected this 0 to 10 question: how would you rate the support you've received? Now, everything that you see in the box, you can reword the question, and not at all and extremely satisfied, not a problem. You can even have them translated into any language. But when you select a score, what happens then is you're taken to a survey landing page that sits on SweetHawk's servers. Now, this landing page is brandable, so you can change the logo, the colors, and the CNAME domain mapping to make it look like it's part of your website. When you hit the page, the question that has been rated in the email will pop up, and the score that you've been given will come through. From here, you'll be able to put in some reasoning as to why you gave this score. Great work on support, guys. And then we'll be asked a secondary question, and this is a question more pointed at the organization. So it's an NPS question: how likely is it that you would recommend Castle Hotels to a friend or colleague? And so we'll just fill that out and say, your company is amazing. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is submit this. At the point that I submit this survey, I'll be taken to a landing page, a URL that I've specified in the app. So it can be any URL. In this case, we're going to be sent to the help center of Castle Hotels, which you'll be able to see. So you can see here we've been taken to the help center of Castle Hotels, and then that could be the end of the experience. So that could go back to your shopping site, or could go back to your main website, wherever you want to send them after a survey. You can even send them to another survey page if you wanted to. So that's what the customer sees. From the agent's perspective, what they will see is, first of all, I'll just refresh the apps here. They will see that the survey app has kicked into gear on the right-hand side, and it's showing the scores that has been received. It is also showing the verbatim, or the text that the customer wrote. And so, that's quite visible from an agent's perspective. It's also converting this ticket score here. It's if you're already using Zendesk CSAT surveys, where customers get to rate your tickets good or bad, it's going to convert that score from 0 to 10 into a good or bad satisfaction rating, and the verbatim, the text is going to be copied from here into that comment as well. So you can set the threshold as to what constitutes a good or a bad satisfaction rating. But yeah, if you're not using Zendesk CSAT ratings, then you can just ignore that and you can see the scores here. Now, another thing that the app does, and this is really very powerful in regards to workflow, is that it will tag the ticket based on the scores given. So you can see here we've got org score 10 and ticket score 10. For every score, you get a different tag. So if we gave a ticket score of 2, then we'd see ticket underscore 2 in the tag section. Now, why is that important? Because Zendesk triggers allow you to check when a ticket is updated and contains the tag or tags ticket score 0, 1, and 2, then perform other actions. Those actions could be assign the ticket to managers, escalate the priority to urgent, do something to kind of get it to the right people so they can turn potentially a bad satisfaction rating into a good satisfaction rating. Or if you wanted to kind of shout about a good satisfaction rating, you could create workflow off of that as well. So those tags allow you to kind of create granular workflows based on all the different scores that might be given. Now, the last thing that you'll see that happens on a Zendesk ticket, based on a survey being kind of responded to, is that the app will push information through to numeric ticket fields. So if we click on the events log here, we'll be able to see that stuff is happening behind the scenes. So our satisfaction score numeric field has been updated with the score 10. Now, the reason why you can't see those fields on the form here is that the app is actively hiding those forms. But additionally, the reason why it is hiding, it is pushing that information through to those fields is because it allows you to build your own reports over in Zendesk Explore, so you can calculate your own NPS scores, average ratings. You want to slice and dice it by group or agent or what have you. You can do that, and this is Zendesk Explore, and we've got a few kind of possible charts that you might want to create there. But yeah, the sky's the limit when it comes to Zendesk Explore, and everything that you need to build those reports is stored in those numeric fields behind the scenes. But if Explore is not your thing, then you can just go straight into the app, and the app has its own reports section. Now, in this report section, we provide some fairly generic types of reports that you may need about the scores that you're receiving. So off the bat, you've got a dashboard. We can see we've got an NPS rating in this month of 70, and everything is drillable. So I just clicked on the score, and all the tickets that go into making up that score are shown, including the one that we just responded to right now. So kind of noting that ticket scores come in and are reported on instantly. You don't have to wait an hour or 24 hours for things to be updated, which makes it very easy to figure out how things are working and what goes into making the results of a report. Other reports you might want to look at are the kind of net promoter score that we have here. And we're doing a net promoter score, percentage of detractors minus percentage of promoters, on both the organization score and the ticket score, because they're both 0 to 10 scores, so we can kind of do that calculation on both. Now, if you don't want to see one, you can kind of get rid of it, or if you want to see a breakdown of the NPSs, you can do that as well to see, okay, well, the people who didn't like the ticket, 0 to 6s, there was one ticket, we got a one passive, and a bunch of 9 to 10 scores. So you can drill into all of that, which can be quite handy. And you can download each report as a CSV, or if you want to just download all of your responses, then you can do that by going into responses over here, which is going to give you a full list of everything that's been recorded on your desk. And yeah, here we all of a whole bunch of responses, and we can kind of view them paginated or download them as a CSV. Now, as far as defining what your each survey landing page looks like, it's very easy. We can just go into brands here, and if you've only got one brand, that's fine. You'll have one light item here, and you can kind of create your landing page, or what the landing page looks like. If we go into Winterfell here, we'll be able to see, we can choose the display name, choose the image, define how big the logo is going to appear, and set the follow-up URL and the color. And once you've kind of made those settings, you can preview the survey like so, to make sure that it's going to appear right to your customers. The Translations tab allows you to repurpose the questions that are being asked, or rephrase the questions, if you like, to however you would like to ask the question. And then for every language that you have switched on in Zendesk, you will be able to provide a translation of the questions that are being asked. For example, we've got Hebrew here, and we can put in a translation of Hebrew. So if you're looking to have other translations and you can't see the right language in there, you'll be able to switch that on simply by going to your cog on the left-hand side here, then going to Account under Settings, and then going to Localization, and then clicking on Additional Languages in Zendesk, and then putting on as whichever language you want. As soon as you've switched it on, then back over in the app, you'll be able to have another option in there. Okay, so yeah, I mean, there are some settings around what the app will do under various states. So for example, if you didn't want to convert a satisfaction score of the 0 to 10 into a Zendesk CSAT score, you don't have to do that. You can untick this box. If you don't want to ask a secondary NPS question, no problems. You can untick that box as well and just ask the one question. Or if you want to delay when you ask that secondary NPS question, you can do so by setting a time period here and say, well, you know what, for every ticket, we want to ask if the customer was satisfied with the support, but we don't want to ask that secondary NPS question for every single ticket that the customer sends in. We only want to ask that secondary question once every 90 days, or any other time period that we've got listed here. You can choose to show a summary of the ticket, and you can do a bunch of different things, but yeah, there are some settings here for you to play around with. But ultimately, yeah, that is the survey app. If you've got any questions on how the survey app works, or if you need any help setting it up, be sure to email us at support@sweethawk.co. Thanks for watching.